Okay, this is a level 4 Barvember question, so one of the slightly easier ones than the ones I usually do. On a school trip, the children are split into three equal groups. 1/5 of the children from group 1 move to group 3, 20% of the children from group 2 move to group 3, and there are now 48 more children in group 3 than in group 1. And we're asked how many children were in each group at the start. Okay, so three groups. So I'm going to be drawing three bars. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So a bar for each of the groups. And I'm going to think about how I'm going to draw them because this one I am dealing in fifths. So it makes sense to draw this bar so that it has five parts. Actually, the first thing to notice is the fact that the children are split into three equal groups. So the size of each bar is going to be the same for each group. The first one I want to split into five parts. Let's look at the second group. Well, I also want to split that in five parts because I know that 20%, which is 20 over 100, is equal to 2 over 10, which is equal to 1 over 5. So here we again have five parts. So 20% is the same as 1/5. So this group is also going to be split into five parts. So let's start drawing that then. Okay, so here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is group 1, split into its five equal parts. The same goes for group 2. And look, it's got to be the same size because we're told that at the beginning. And then what am I going to do with group 3? Well, that's not split into anything as far as I know. We know that it's got the same size. It's the same size as all of the others. Well, I'm also going to split that into the equal parts because that makes working with a bar model so much easier when you can split things into equal parts. So these are my three equal groups. Now what happens? Well, 1/5 of the children from group 1 move to group 3. So I'm going to shade in one of these, and that moves from there to there. Okay, I'm going to draw an arrow that I don't need to, but there we go. Okay, so that is gone from there. Okay, so there's that many children in group 1 now, these four parts. These children have moved to this group. So we have accounted for that information. 20% of the children from group 2 move to group 3. Let's do that in another color. Okay, so again, I am going to shade in one of these parts. And again, this part, we're going to say that that is moving over to here. So I can do another arrow. That's where those children have gone. Okay, so I have now accounted for that piece of information. I already did that bit. There are now 48 more children in group 3 than in group 1. Okay, so how many children are in group 1? Well, that is here. Okay, so that aligns with here. Okay, and how many children are now in group 3? Well, that goes all the way to here. And what are we told? Well, we're told that this has a value of 48. So what we can see then is 48 is equivalent to three of these equal parts. And I can see that if I divide 48 by 3, so 48, and we're going to divide that by 3. So that's one there and one there. And 3 into 18 is 6. That means each of these parts has a value of 16. That's not behaving well. There we go. Okay. How does that help us? Actually, what's our question? We are asked how many children were in each group at the start. Well, at the start, there were 5 parts in each group. So I need to do 16 times 5. Okay. So 5 6s are 30, and 5 1s are 5, and that is plus the 3 is 8. So the final answer is that there were 80 children at the start.